can hear the transmitting. Fantastic, more people are joining. Just a second. Right, there we are. So let's start. I'm gonna close this, and close this, like this, and let's start. Okay, let's go. I am going to share my screen with you, making sure that the sound also is available for you, and let's go. So as I say, please start preparing your keyboard, also your headphones, because we are going to get into the writing task. Integrated essay, and let's go. Fantastic. Okay, let's go. Answer. Okay, so beforehand, let us sort out the groups. Well, not the groups, right? The links to the for you to write down your essay. So please, I'm going to. Okay, there are how many right now? We are 4 people. Very good. So for Paulina, okay, Paulina, good evening. You're going to be having the first link. I'm gonna resend them just in case. Maybe it could be simpler for you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to send the links again. First group. Yes, second, third, and fourth. Yeah. Yes, Sonia, a question?
So can you wait up for me? So I'm just like 5 minutes away to get to my computer.
Yes. Yeah, okay, fine. So let me just a second. Don't worry, Sonia, it's okay. Go, please, until we sort out the groups. Okay, so I sent, all right, I sent to the WhatsApp group the links again. There is somebody who is talking to me through WhatsApp who says that has a problem to join the class. Let's see. This is the link. You didn't have any problem to join, right, dear students? Or did any of you experience some sort of trouble entering the reunion? All right. Let's solve it. All right. Okay, well, fantastic. So as I was saying, for Paulina, the first group is going to be available, basically the first link, right? For Lucia, you're going to have the second link. Alexander, you will have the third link. That is to say, that is going to be your Google document for you to write down your essay tonight. And finally, for Sonia, the fourth link, which is this one. I'm going to remark it here. This is the fourth one. This is going to be the Sonia's document. Fantastic. And I hope the others are. Somebody told me that had a problem to join. I don't know why. I'm very concerned about that. Well, hope he managed to, because you are here. It means that the link works. Because if it doesn't work, how did you manage to get into, right? Well, fantastic. So so let me. Okay. So as a matter of waiting, not only for Sonia, but for this student that is having these problems now, you know, something that I wanted to do, as I told you yesterday, is that for today's weekend, you're going to have the only homework of these classes, okay? So don't worry. It's not that from here on, you're going to have a lot of homeworks. No, not at all. But this is going to be the only homework, okay? The only homework you will have. So what is that homework? Let me send it to you right now to the WhatsApp group. Let me look for it. Yeah. Let me open it. Check out if it's this one. September 13th. Very good. Let's write essay. Right, so 10, 11, 12, 13th. 13th, okay. Yes, stop writing S section practice, integrated essay. Yes, 11, 11, 12. Okay. Fantastic, very good. All right. Oh, very good. Anyways, so this is it. I'm sending this document to the WhatsApp group, dear students. It says TOEFL writing section practice. All right. Please receive it, open it with me, and let us read together, okay? It basically says the following. It says, please write an essay on both the following topics below proposed. In total, you must write two essays, excuse me. Do not forget to apply all recommendations and templates discussed in class. After you have finished, send the essays to this email, and there you have an email. So please, after you write down the essays, of course, in this case, you're not going to write them on a Google document, but write them on any paper you have available. That is to say, Word or any other program that allows you to, of course, use text. You can present and send your essays until September 13th. Now I tell you, if you manage to finish it this weekend, way better, because that means that you're going to receive my review and my feedback earlier. If you send it, of course, 13th, it's going to be well, probably I'm gonna be giving you your feedback later. But if you give it to me or send it to this link, well, not to this link, you send it to this email until, let's say, this Monday's morning, I am going to be able to oh, what a weird thing. I am going to be able to correct it for you and to send the feedback so that you can improve this section as fast as you can. All right. So as I said, this is going to be the homework for this weekend. As you can see, it's basically an integrated essay that you have to write down. And in this link, you're going to find the topics, because remember, for the integrated essay, as we're going to practice right now, you have to first of all listen to information presented into different information sources. So please get into this link. It's a YouTube video, and you're going to find there the reading and also the listening item. And here I left for you an example, okay, just for guidance, of course, not for copying it, in order for you to know and remind how to write down an essay for this topic, okay? And also, you have an independent essay with a proposition, that is to say, a topic that I propose for you to read it, and of course, in accordance and with regard to this particular topic, you need to express your opinion, defend it, use illustrations, just as we have practiced during this week, okay? So as you can see, here you have the topic, and as well you have here a model for you to follow just as a matter of guidance, okay? So this is it basically. It's not difficult at all. So independent essay and also integrated essay, okay? So these essays that you're going to compose, in total 2 of them, you have to send them to this email, of course, making sure to include your information, your name, your email for me to resend this when it is corrected. So this is going to be today's hour, okay? It's already in the group for you to check it out later. And as I say, please try to have it ready and to send these essays until this Sunday's midnight or this Monday's morning. Because if you send it later, probably I'm gonna take more time reviewing it, because I have other tasks to do during the week because of the classes that I of course offer. So nonetheless, if you send it until this Monday's morning, as I say, or this Sunday's midnight, it's very much probable that I'm going to be resending this way quicker. Okay, very good. So this is it. Now there is somebody who still is not managing to enter. I'm so sorry for him, but honestly, the link, if you manage to enter with this link, it means that it is possible to do. Yes, some questions, please. Sonia, a question?
Yeah, so right now, what do we have to do? I just entered to
Yes,
the link
okay.
you sent.
Yes, please enter to the Google document that I sent. You are going to work on the fourth link. Exactly.
So yeah. So what? Someone has. I don't know. What do I have to do?
Right now, nothing because for the moment, because we are explaining homework, but right now I'm gonna give you the information sources and then you're gonna write down an essay for me. Okay? Right now, nothing.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Paulina, a question?
Yes, I'm gonna send you the essay on Monday in the afternoon because I work on weekends all the day and I cannot do that.
All right. No, it's fine. It's fine, dear Paulina. Don't worry. It's totally fine. As I say, I mean, you
Okay.
have time until September 13th, but if you
Oh,
send that earlier, way better because it's probable, as I say, that I am going to have more time to send it back to you with feedback and reviews way quicker, as I say. But if you send that later, as I say, it's going to be maybe a little bit more difficult for me to send it quickly. Nonetheless, as I say, anyways, if you send it until September 13th, I am going to be reviewing it and sending it back to you. Okay. So no pressure, of course.
okay. Thank you. Okay.
Fantastic. My pleasure. Sebastian, we are here with all our students. Yeah, it's for them. What's for them? Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Let's start, okay? I'm so sorry for the student who. Okay, Nada is here. Fantastic. So let's start. Good evening, Nata. I think Sebastian has some problems for getting into the Reunion, but you managed to get into, right? So the link is not the problem.
Yes, I think it's his laptop or something.
Yes. So let him please work with you, as I know you are brothers. Because we're going to start right now, okay? If we don't start right now, the time is not going to be sufficient. All right. So I'm so sorry for Sebastian. We have to move on nonetheless. Okay, okay, so please, dear students, let's start. As you remind, for this task of the writing section, you have to write down an essay summarizing the topics that ETS is going to give you. Okay, fantastic. So let me please send right now to the WhatsApp group the reading passage that is going to be the first information source. Okay, so remember, we are right now writing down an essay, not for the second task, but for the first task. In this case, you remind you have to read a passage, you have 3 minutes read, and then you have to, as I told you, listen to a class on the same topic, and then you're going to write down your essay summarizing both topics. In this case, you are not required to give your opinion, all right? So let's start with the reading. Please, I sent to the WhatsApp groups the reading passages. So please read them. You have 3 minutes to do so, okay? Start reading now. Okay, very good. So the timing for this section is, as you remind, 3 minutes for the reading, and those 3 minutes are over. Okay, so let's go now with the listening item. Okay, it's going to be a lecture, a lecture on the same topic. And remind please to take your notes, because this is going to be available for you just once. All right, the reading passage nonetheless is going to be available for you during the entire 20 minutes you will have later. So pay attention to this, and let's go.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
All right, so the essay that you all read last week, well, it's very likely that the author of that essay simply didn't like Stein's style. The reasons given in that text kind of, point to the author's biases. Take the issue of punctuation for one. Anybody who says the punctuation or the lack of punctuation in Stein's writing doesn't serve a purpose, they clearly haven't read her essay titled Poetry and Grammar. Stein viewed punctuation as a crutch, as a tool that was simply unnecessary. And so, well, relying on a tool like that encouraged authors to write weaker sentences. This is a unique perspective that's worth considering, not something we can simply write off. Second, the idea that Stein took Cubism and approach to writing, applied those concepts to her writing, and that Cubism was somehow incompatible with language, that idea completely ignores the changes in poetry since Stein's day. There's been quite a lot of poetry that relies on the sounds of words and the images conjured by what seem like totally nonsensical phrases. Stein's work is of massive literary influence, as an early example of that. And as for Stein's relationships with other authors and artists, you only have to look at Hemingway's famous style to see a Stein's influence. The simple, common words, the repetition, a lot of what we think as Hemingway's came directly from Stein. She really changed the way people around her were working. It wasn't just a social connection.
Summarize the points made in the lecture you just heard, explaining how they cast doubt on points made in the reading.
Very good. There we are. So as I told you, it's now the time for you to go to your separate rooms, and also for you to start writing your essays. Okay, so there are more people who have joined the class. So I didn't assign some the Google Documents for some of you. So let me do it right now quickly. So we basically stayed on the 4th group with Sonia. So the 5th one is going to be for who else? Okay, for Nata. So Nata, you're going to have the 5th group. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to resend it, okay, to the WhatsApp group. Here. Okay. This group. How much? Your 5th group. Okay. So 5th one for you, Nara. I'm sending it to the WhatsApp group right now. And 6th one for Sebastian. Okay. There you have them. And now, there are more people as well, right? Who also joined the class recently and does not have a group nor has listened to the audio? Please, could you tell us? Paola?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Paola, don't worry. I'm gonna stay with you then. But the rest of you, please, I'm going to separate you, all right, right now. And please start writing your essays, okay? Because I think the rest already have groups, and also you have been present here. So I'm going to break out the class manually, and we have how many? 3, 4, 5, 6. It's great, man. 11. Okay, so Alexander, here Nada, here Natalie, here Lucia, here goes Paulina, here goes Sonia. Okay, fantastic. So please, to all of you who I have sent an invitation for joining a separate room, get into, and when you get into, start writing, okay? Your essay, you know what to do. Please start writing, and I'm gonna call you back when your time is over. Okay, please go. Okay, so Paula. Fantastic. So Paula, with you, okay, did you manage to read the passage? If you notice, there is a passage, dear Paula, in the WhatsApp group that starts with American literature. Did you manage to see that?
Yes, teacher.
Right, fantastic. So this is going to be the topic for today's essay, all right? So please, I want you to read it. Oh, did you read it already, Paula, maybe?
No, yet, teacher.
All right, fantastic. Don't worry. I'm going to give you your 3 minutes, okay, for you to read it. So please start reading now, and I'm going to tell you when your time is over, okay?
Okay, teacher, thanks.
My pleasure. Okay, start, please. Very good, dear Paula, your time is over. So please now let us listen together to the listening item, okay? All right, let's go. Please take your notes on this, as you know it's very important. Let's go.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
All right, so the essay that you all read last week, well, it's very likely that the author of that essay simply didn't like Stein's style. The reasons given in that text kind of, point to the author's biases. Take the issue of punctuation for one. Anybody who says the punctuation or the lack of punctuation in Stein's writing doesn't serve a purpose, they clearly haven't read her essay titled Poetry and Grammar. Stein viewed punctuation as a crutch, as a tool that was simply unnecessary. And so, well, relying on a tool like that encouraged authors to write weaker sentences. This is a unique perspective that's worth considering, not something we can simply write off. Second, the idea that Stein took Cubism and approach to writing, applied those concepts to her writing and that Cubism was somehow incompatible with language, that idea completely ignores the changes in poetry since Stein's day. There's been quite a lot of poetry that relies on the sounds of words and the images conjured by what seem like totally nonsensical phrases. Stein's work is of massive literary influence, as an early example of that. And as for Stein's relationships with other authors and artists, you only have to look at Hemingway's famous style to see a Stein's influence. The simple, common words, the repetition, a lot of what we think as Hemingway's came directly from Stein. She really changed the way people around her were working. It wasn't just a social connection.
Summarize the points made in the lecture you just heard, explaining how they cast doubt on points made in the reading.
Very good. Very good, dear Paula. So I think that now you're able to write down the essay, right? Very good. So I'm going to assign for you a document, all right? I'm going to send it to the WhatsApp group. Let me do it right now. I think in this case, it's going to be the 7th one. Right? Yes.
I'm sorry, teacher, what is the structure for this?
Oh, yes. I'm going to send it, don't worry. Let me just first send this link. Right, there you are. So I sent to the WhatsApp group, dear Paula, the structure, okay? Excuse me, the Google document in which you have to write down your essay. Now, let me share with you the template. The template is this one. I have it here, actually. Is this one. If you remind, it's basically it's basically a summary, right? You have listened to different information sources, and now you have read this and listened the class about, in this case, art, right? You have to write down an essay expressing the contrast and the opposition that exists between the information sources. And if you get into the document, you're going to find that that is what the template basically tells you to do. As you can see, you have to compare the reading extract that's off with. Nonetheless, you compare, right? You are contrasting. In the lecture, it is said that. We have seen this on class, right? So you of course remind me. So yeah, this is anyways the model. If you have forgotten, please read this again, and you're going to remind what you have to do. Okay, dear Paula, or you have any question? Tell me, I can help you.
No, teacher, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, fantastic then. So I'm going to, okay, I already sent to the WhatsApp group the reading passage. Okay, so you're gonna have time. Probably, of course, in this case, you're not gonna have enough time for finishing it, but nonetheless, and to the point you finish is going to be fine for today. Okay. Anyways, I sent, by the way, to the WhatsApp group as well a homework for this weekend, so you're gonna have practice anyways. Okay. If you scroll up a little bit in the WhatsApp group, I sent. Oh, I didn't send anything to this group. I'm gonna send it right now. There is a homework for this weekend, for you to do it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? This is it. Okay. So this is the homework. It contains within it a link to a YouTube video that contains as well material for writing down a essay for the first task of the writing section, and also it contains a topic for an independent essay that you have to write down for me. Okay, so anyways, just wanted to tell you that you have homework for this weekend. Okay, very good. So please start writing. Okay, go to your Google document and start writing. I'm not going to send you to a separate room because I'm not going to make any noise. So please start. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
All right, very good. If you have any question, you tell me, okay?
Okay, teacher.
All right. Welcome back to the class, dear students. I am very glad that all of you have come back. So it's time for the feedback, okay, that I had promised to you before. And let us start. I think that nobody else is still in the breakout rooms. So we can start with the feedback and the review of each of your essays. Okay, so let us start with this one. I think that it is Alexander's essay because it says Alexander. So let's go with it. Right, the first essay, Alexander. As you can see, we have it on the screen. Okay, so let's read what Alexander wrote, and let's see how he applied the template to this essay. Let's go. As we all know, American literature is characterized as one of the best in the world. It is even a base and influence on our current writing. Great American writers are known for developing writing that had an undeniably profound impact, such as Ernest Hemingway, Fitzgerald, basically F. Scott Fitzgerald, E. Cummings, and Ezra Pound, and among many others. There is a writer among them called Gertrude Stein. According to many people, author and poet Stein is singled out in the work as an eccentricity worthy of life of little more than a historical footnote. For one, Stein's shortcoming was that well, in this case it's she, right, because she was a woman, that she took many of the concepts underlying Cubism. She wanted to do something different. She wanted to evolve her writing technique that relied heavily on the sounds and also of the words used, rather than the meanings that they had and just that. For many people, it was unnecessarily difficult to decipher because despite being complicated, it distracted from the writer's message and added little, if any, value. All right. Okay, so yeah, certainly the essay does summarize the information sources, and because of that, it is valid. This is a valid essay. Now, of course, I noticed that in this case, the structure has not been followed, because remember that the structure is this one, right? Introduction, the reading extra leads off with, nonetheless, in the lecture, it is said that, and then you start with the body, right? Firstly, in the reading passage, it is claimed that basically the template that I offer you works for allowing you to contrast both materials, something that in this case, in this essay is not present, but as I say, it's a valid essay. Why? Because it summarizes the information sources anyways. Nonetheless, of course, I recommend you very much to follow the template that we are giving you, because of course, I mean, it's a tested one that works, and also it allows you to be even clearer, okay, in your summary. Nonetheless, as I say, it's a good summary. The grammar, it's fine. The orthography as well, it's fine. As I say, it's valid because it summarizes information sources, and that is what you have to do. But yeah, that would be my recommendation here. It's a good essay, but always try to remind the template, right? That, for example, if you want it again, I'm gonna send it to the WhatsApp group one more time for you to have it. Is this one, right? There you have. Very good, Alexander. It was a very good essay. As I say, it works. It fulfills its purpose, which is to summarize, and therefore it works. Okay, very good. Okay, let's continue with second group. In this case, please could the student that has written the essay on this link tell her name or his name?
Lucia.
All right, Lucia, fantastic. Thank you very much. Oh yes, yeah. Don't worry, dear Alexander. It's fine. I completely understand. It's a matter of practice, you know. And as I say, it's actually a very simple structure, because the only thing you have to do is to contrast. The reading passage said this, but then the listening said this, right? In opposition, constantly and that. But the essay, as I say, is very good, Alexander. Please don't misinterpret me. It's fantastic because it summarizes, and as far as it summarizes the material, it works. It's a valid essay. Now, of course, to follow the template is a very good recommendation anyways, so please try to apply it, okay? But very good, Alexander. Okay, so let's continue with Lucia. Okay,
It's not
here
the
we are.
beginning. It's
At the
not that. It's
Okay.
It's what's above. No.
Right.
It's at the end, but not. I don't know. I
Okay,
think someone is also writing there.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, introduction. This one, the reading extra leads off with the idea that stains. Yes, this one?
Yes.
Fantastic. So the reading extract lets off with the idea that Stein's work was confusing and inaccessible to the reader. Nonetheless, in the lecture, it is said that Stein's literature was the complete opposite, right? Very good. Making a huge impact on American literature as well as older authors at the time. I am going to proceed to expose both views. Very good. In this case, the template is very noticeable, contrasting very much, well, in a very cursory manner, in a very concise manner, both materials and then, of course, including the transition phrase. Very good. First of all, in the reading passage, it is written that Gertrude Stein did not make clear the essence of her work, for the words used to convey her thoughts were extremely unclear. Fantastic. In this case, by the way, the use of for is very well achieved because when you use for, you can use it after a comma without any trouble. Very good. Therefore, Stein's work was meaningless compared to other authors. However, in the listening presentation, it is claimed that through cubism, she was able to express her emotions in a deep and profound way that added value to her literature. Fantastic, very good paragraph. Summarize both topics, contrasting, excellent. Secondly, in the reading extract, it is pointed out that Stein's punctuation was a mess. She used, what's a mess? She used long sentences without using commas and periods. Good. That led, in this case, that led. Whenever you want to, for example, use that, que guió, right? That led to a difficult poetry. In this case, it's not necessary to use the period because that led to a difficult poetry. This sentence here is not an independent sentence. It's basically a sentence that depends on this one. So if you want to use this, you could have simply and periods, comma, that led to a difficult poetry. Nonetheless, you could have, for example, if you wanted to use a separate sentence, you could have used without using commas in periods. This led to a difficult poetry because this is a new sentence, right? This led to a difficult poetry and a confusing prose that were not easy to read. But as I say, whenever you want to use that, that can never be the start of or the beginning of the sentence, unless, of course, it means something like, that is my book, right? Not in the sense of que, but in the sense of possessive, right? That is my book, this is. But when you're using it with the meaning of que es or que guían to a difficult poetry, you always have to use it, with comma or without comma, but never with a period. But very good, anyways. Nonetheless, the listening passage claims that the lack of punctuation used by her made her work more valuable and had a positive impact on her social connection. Good. Finally, in the reading selection, it is stated that Gertrude Stein was not that significant in the literature influence, and it is often confused that she was relevant to the American literature for their social connections and gathering in her home. On the other hand, in the listening part, it is mentioned that those gatherings were with other well-known writers made a change on how her friends write. Very good. In this case, of course, wrote, maybe because many of her friends are dead, right? But anyways, right, is also admissible. Very good essay, Lucia. It was a very, very good essay. The only thing that I would recommend would be that part of grammar. We use that, but the rest is fantastic. Very good. Congratulations, okay?
Okay, thanks. It's okay if I use first of all and then secondly, or I have to use firstly and secondly?
No, please, this is fantastic as well. Make sure, not make sure. Feel free to write whenever you want. The connectors are a matter of your decision. First of all, it's also a very good connector.
Okay, thanks.
My pleasure. Let's go with the third one. Please, the author of this essay, say your name so that we can know it. I got into. Wait, what? Oh, I think that I had started with the third one. So let's go with this one. Who wrote the one that it is in the first link?
It's mine.
Paulina, all right. Thank you very
yeah.
much, Paulina. Okay, fantastic. Let's go. The reading extract lets off with the idea that writing new styles have a number of influence authors, in this case authors, writing in a new style. For example, the author Gertrude's name is included in lists, but his work is less notably influential, okay? So less notably influential than nowadays. Also, it is an eccentricity that historical okay, that historical than okay, it is an eccentricity than historical footnote. I guess as a historical footnote, right? As a historical footnote, right? It is an eccentricity, yes. It is an eccentricity as a historical footnote. Very good. Nonetheless, all right, remember that nonetheless always, when you use this connector or any other connector, connectors always go after a period and before a comma. So this is a connector nonetheless, sin embargo, therefore always before a comma, okay? And after a period. As you can see, this is good, but before a comma and always with capital letter. Very good. Nonetheless, in a lecture, it is said that exists lack of punctuation or grammar is is created as unnecessary with your sentences. It's like a write-off. Okay. Nonetheless, in the lecture, it is said that that exists lack of punctuation or grammar. I guess in here you wanted to include this. This is created as unnecessary with your sentences. It's like a write-off. That are, I guess, that are like a write-off. All right, very good. Nonetheless, but remind us very, very little details in grammar, separating sentences, okay, but very good. Firstly, in the reading passage, it is claimed that works would be inaccessible to the reader because the author, your author, could not express their emotions or feelings in her writing. Something that is proposed by another author is that, okay, by another author, is that the painting or visual pictures could show her emotions in her writing, okay? The reading passage claims, notwithstanding, that this concept is incomparable in language and sound, or incomparable, okay? Of words would be, and sound of words would be with nonsense influence, okay? The reading passage claims, notwithstanding, that this concept is incomparable in language and sound of words. Here, I guess, another punctuation. This would be, right? This would be maybe nonsensical. That is what you mean, right? Nonsensical. Sin sentido, nonsensical. This would be nonsensical. I'm sorry. A nonsensical, yes. Well, could be also. This could be a nonsensical influence, yes. But very good, very good. Finally, in the reading passage, it is pointed sometimes the authors include a little bit in punctuation in their writings, okay? So their sentences have unbroken chains without commas or periods, okay? Also, some authors, okay, yeah, well, because it was a movement, right, the Cubism, but in this case, nonetheless, maybe the reading passage and also the listening passage were more focused on Stein's work, right? Not only on the artists that were along her, but on Stein specifically. Maybe that is something to comment on. That in this case, the reading passage and also the listening were very much concentrated on Stein's work and not the people who, let's say, follow her style. So maybe the sentences here should be more focused on Stein instead of the persons who follow her art, right? But nonetheless, it's fine anyways. About punctuation for distraction from the writer's message. Some authors avoid to include. Nevertheless, in the lecture passage, states that it could have an influence or it has relationships, or this avoid the repetition changes in social connections. Here, connections, double M between sentences. They could have had, I guess. It could have had an influence, or it has relationships, or this avoid repetition changes. Maybe again here, it would be better another sentence. This avoids, right? So as a general recommendation for all of you, as I think I remarked it yesterday as well, very important that in English, when we are writing, it's very important to remind short sentences are actually preferred, okay? I know that in Spanish, of course, we are used to write down very long sentences with a lot of commas because we are, well, of course, that is the way our language works. Nonetheless, in English, it's preferable to use very short sentences. And actually, it's a very advantageous change for you because it's easier to write short sentences, okay? So make sure to divide your sentences with more periods with more points, because that is not only easier for you to write, but also that is what the, let's say, tradition in the English writing says or comments. Okay, very good essay, dear Paulina. But as I say, maybe the only recommendation also that I would give here would be to concentrate more on Stein, because in this case the topics were more about Stein and not her followers, or not the movement that she started. But anyways, it's good. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, fantastic, my pleasure. Fourth group. Don't worry, because we're gonna have you're gonna have the chance to practice a lot. Okay, this weekend. Okay, who is the author of this one? The fourth.
Sonia.
Okay, Sonia, fantastic, thank you. Firstly, in the reading passage has been said that Stein was not that influential. Her literature does not provide historical information, leaving its mentor's work meaningless throughout past history. No, not this one.
Let me see.
Okay, not this one.
So that. Let me see.
Firstly, in the reading passage,
I think it did. No, that's not. Well, that's off.
Not your essay, this one? No? Yes. Yes or no?
No. The reading track. Oh, yeah. Since it seems from the reading track.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. So I started reading. Yeah, I started reading from the middle. The reading extra lets off with the idea that author Stein literature was eccentrical rather than scientific and historical. Nonetheless, in the lecture, it is said that without the scientific style, it actually turned into a unique reading. Very good. I'm going to proceed to exposing both perspectives. Fantastic, very good introduction. Firstly, in the reading passage, it has been said that Stein was not that influential. Her literature does not provide historical information, leaving its mentor's work meaningless throughout past history. Nonetheless, in the listening presentation, it is noted that by introducing a new way of writing without punctuation, which is considered unnecessary and points out weaker sentences, by all means, it revolutionizes future literature, attracting more people to read and not to get bored, I guess here. Not get bored. Very good. Anyways, it's fine. Okay, this is a very long sentence. Okay, so my only recommendation would be, again here, try to divide it. But for example here, comma, which is considered unnecessary and points out weaker sentences, right? Period. Sorry. By all means, this revolutionizes. This way it's easier to follow. By all means, this revolutionizes future literature, attracting more people, okay? But very good anyways. Secondly, in the reading extra, it has been criticized that Stein is more about social gatherings with influential authors than the figure culture. Good. The listening passage claims, notwithstanding, that Stein actually was influential and inspired famous writers, such as Hemingway, that ended up not following a scientific style, instead adding common words with no repetition. Fantastic, very good. Finally, in the reading selection, it is stated that she does not follow Cubism representation as it should. On the other hand, it is said that Cubism is mostly scientific math history. Very good. All right, fantastic. It's a very good essay, dear Sonia. Only commentary will be that maybe in this case, it was the only time maybe in which the sentence was too long to follow, because it was a little bit difficult to follow the sentence because of all the commas and all the devices. But as I say, if you divide it, it's going to be perfect. Very good, Sonia. Congratulations. There we are. Okay. My pleasure. Fifth one. Where is it? Okay, fifth one I think is from here on. Or no? Yes. Here, fifth one. Okay. This is the fifth one. So this is okay. Could please the author of this essay mention her name or his name?
Natalia.
Okay, Nata, thank you very much. So in this case, Nata, is this just your essay, or in this case you have combined your essay along with the one of your brother?
No, my brother couldn't get in. His laptop is I don't know, something is happening.
Okay, I'm so sorry for that. Okay, anyways, we're going to review yours. Okay, people above. Okay, no, it's not this one. It's Here, the reading part leads us to the idea that Stein wasn't that much of an influence or a good author, and that her choices when writing mislead the reader, while the listening part states that she was a very important figure and that she is criticized for things she shouldn't be. Good. I will explain both of this. Fantastic. First, in the reading passage, it explained that Stein's work wasn't accessible to the reader because of her style, cubism. I like, for example, how you're using this colon here. Very good. Remember that whenever you can add these literary devices, semicolons, colons, quotation commas, parentheses, anything that occurs to you is going to be a very good idea, okay? She took too much importance to the sounds words make rather than in their meaning. And, for example, here she is also using semicolon, very good. And, like cubism, there was no importance to put clear emotions on the word. Good. Furthermore, it was said that the punctuation was a problem because the sentences were difficult to understand and that also distracted the reader. Fantastic. Nevertheless, in the listening passage, it was said that poetry also has these characteristics and that she didn't use these things just because what? Just because, right? Well, lastly, okay, I got it. It was said that poetry also has these characteristics and that she didn't use these things just because. Yes, it's fine. Just because. Yes, good. Lastly, the reading part states that the fact that Stein spent time with other writers doesn't give her historical importance, but her work should. On the other hand, in the lecture, it is claimed that it wasn't just social connections. She changed the way people worked and had a massive literature influence. Fantastic. This is a very good essay, dear Nata. And I know that this, of course, meets the minimum criteria. It is 150 words, so fantastic. Very good, okay? Very, very good. Okay, so with the last one, sixth one. Okay. Oh, well, I think that Paola didn't make it today. Yes, she sent me a message saying that, oh yes, she was not able to write. Okay, so this is empty basically. All right, I'm so sorry for her. So fantastic, dear students. I think that this practice has been quite positive. You have managed to write down very good essays, all of you. Okay, and I congratulate all of you. Okay, it's been very good, and I am very confident and optimistic that today's weekend, or not today's weekend, but this weekend, I'm so sorry, and today's homework for the weekend is going to be tremendously advantageous and beneficial for you in order to practice and improve for this section. Okay, so to the WhatsApp group, to both of you, I sent the homework for this weekend. As I say, you have time until September 13th. Nonetheless, if you send that faster and quicker, it's going to be wonderful, okay? Because if you send it earlier until this Monday, it's going to be easier for me to review it and to send it back to you as well quicker, okay? So, Paulina, yes, a question.
What do we have to send you the document or by your WhatsApp?
There's if you open the document, there is let me show it to you. Where is it? Here. If you open the document, it says here, after you have finished, send the essays to this email, and there you have an email. So please send them through Gmail to this particular one that I have posted there. And as I say, write them on Word or any other platform, PDF, I don't know, and please send them to me so that I can give you feedback. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic. My pleasure. Any other question, dear students? We're fine. No questions? Okay, so as I say, this is your homework, and this is going to be super helpful for you, okay? For you to learn and to have this clear, all right? Fantastic. So what else? Okay. Okay, so besides that, okay, fantastic. Besides that, dear students, here you have 3 resources for you. This is documents that I basically created. And here I have gathered a lot of YouTube videos in which you are able to find free material for you to practice for the writing section, okay? So please don't get confused. This is the homework, and this is the material that I have for you to practice at any other point. But the essays that you have to send me until September 13th is this one, the one that says TOEFL writing section practice. That is the the one that you have to send to me, okay? The other ones are just links to YouTube videos that contain a lot of material, okay? Fantastic. So I'm gonna send it here as well. So that is all for today's class, okay? I'm gonna stop sharing this. I'm gonna take your assistance, please don't go. And please, your students, help me with the traditional poll, okay? You know that you help me a lot. Fantastic. So please help me with that and listen to your name. Quickly, we're running out of time. Sheets here as well. Let's see. Okay, so it's here present. Natalia Fernanda Cerruto. Thank you very much, Nata. Okay, I know Sebastian was not able to join. Anyways, I'm gonna put him present, okay? Because he tried to do it. And Paola as well, she was here, but she had some troubles with her machine. Okay, and now Guzman Guadalupe Céspedes. Okay, she didn't make it today. Sonia Raquel Nolasco.
Present.
Thank you very much, dear Sonia. Nathalie here. Okay, Nathan was not here. What about John Ariel? Grados Lucia.
Present.
Thank you very much, Lucia. Reyes Camila. Okay. Paulina Yasmin.
Present.
Thank you very much, Paulina. And finally, Alexander Christopher.
Present, teacher.
Thank you very much, Christopher. All right, fantastic. So here we are. Thank you very much to your students for your presence and also for your time. It's been a pleasure to be with you. Okay, and yeah, as I say, see you next time. And thank you very much. Okay, for your presence. See you very soon.
Thank you, teacher. Take care.
Thank you.